During the course of this raid, a group of 12 Henkel HE-111 bombers en route to the Midlands lost its way. Either they miscalculated the wind speed or misidentified landmarks on the ground. Whether they thought they were over the target or they simply panicked, the crew of at least one of these aircraft dropped or jettisoned their bombs over London, and 9 civilians were killed. This was in total violation of Hitler's orders that cities were not to be attacked without his express permission. The crews were severely reprimanded for their blunder. Some say they were immediately transferred to the infantry as punishment. A furious Churchill ordered immediate retaliation with an attack on Berlin the following night. "80 RAF bombers tried to attack armament factories on the northern outskirts. Again, navigation difficulties meant that most bombs fell on farmlands to the south. The Luftwaffe kept well away from London during the next few days and nights. But RAF Bomber Command did not observe the same policy towards Berlin. It was now firmly on their list of targets, and they returned to it the night of the 28th and 29th of August. This time, German civilians were killed. Yet American journalist William L. Shirer, who was in Berlin at the time, thought the Berliners were more concerned with the British bombers actually penetrating to their city rather than the fatalities that their bombs had caused. This was not surprising, since Hermann Göring had earlier boasted in public that no British aircraft would be able to fly over the Third Reich. If they did, he told his audience, "You can call me mayor," a popular German expression meaning his name would be mud. Göring's stupid boast helped to fuel anger among the German press, which next day produced headlines like "Cowardly British Attack," calling the bombers pirates. The Nazi hierarchy feared that this might fuel civil unrest in Berlin. This was especially true after a third RAF attack on the night of the 3rd and 4th of September caused further death and destruction. The following day, Hitler made a speech to the party faithful. He declared that when the British Air Force drops 2 or 3 or 4,000 kilograms of bombs, we will in one night drop 150, 250, 300, or 400,000 kilograms. When they declare that they will increase their attacks on our cities, then we will smash their cities to the ground. There could now be no turning back. The blunder by a single bomber crew was about to turn the war into a nightmare for hundreds of thousands of civilians. On Saturday, September 7th, German bombers attacked the London docks. That night, another 247 bombers, 3 times the number that had been attacking Berlin, raided the British capital again. "2,000 Londoners were killed or injured in these 2 attacks. What became known as the Blitz, London was bombed every night but one during the next 2 months. Other British cities as far north as Glasgow in Scotland also suffered. But none of this could disguise the fact that the Luftwaffe had failed. It had not destroyed the RAF, and therefore the invasion could not take place. As a result, Hitler turned prematurely east to attack Russia and committed his armies to an agonizing and ultimately disastrous 4 years of gargantuan struggle. Hitler continued the Blitz until May 1941, but contrary to his hopes, Britain did not break. Instead, the RAF Bomber Command began to steadily pulverize Germany. Later joined by the bombers of the U.S. 8th Air Force, it became a ruthless offensive that would continue until virtually the end of the war in Europe. The campaign would cost the lives of hundreds of thousands of German civilians and caused untold destruction. By May 1945, large parts of Germany had become a virtual desert. The horrific destruction caused by aerial bombing in Europe would be repeated against Japan. Those anonymous and probably bewildered German HE-111 crews who lost their way over London in August 1940 did, by their blunder of dropping bombs on innocent civilians, set off an irreversible and fatal chain reaction.